Hello, everyone. Welcome to Deepening the Connection. My name is Miroslava, the Metaphysical Chick, and I am here with.
Angelica, welcome to this place, this space that we've created that is deepening the connection. So I figured I would start this space with a little bit of smoke, and I have my little
Oh, yeah.
little cauldron. So giving this space a blessing of mugwort, of frankincense, myrrh, cedar, and a little bit of copal. And just taking that in, I'm kind of putting that in the space. The month of October, for where the veil is thinning and or just completely gone for some of us. What themes are coming in? What will serve us in the highest and best way to become aware of? And the first one is, which goes so perfect with this. So it's inspirational creation, alchemy, the elements, and innovation. And there's a divine feminine here in her magic, in her witchiness, in her elements, basically. The next one is utopia, peace, serenity, and paradise. Next card that we have is the Earth Star chakra. Initiation. If you see that at the bottom, initiation. This is a perfect time for initiation. All of that energy. My goodness. Oh my God. And then it's perfect because we have the Earth Star and then we have the crown chakra. It feels so perfect. This feels so perfect. Is there anything coming in for you, Miroslava?
So this feels like very much connected to the feminine energy. And not just, if you're a man watching, there is feminine energy within you. And perhaps this is your moment to really initiate that feminine energy to come closer to your own masculine essence. And so if you're a man watching this and you're hearing us just talking about feminine energy and the witch and, and this and that, don't leave. Keep listening because there is feminine energy within you. And that feminine energy is screaming for attention, so it really refocus and give that feminine essence your love. The feminine energy is creation. There is so much magic and so much beauty within this fucking amazing, wild, chaotic, crazy energy, and I feel, and we talked about this in a video that will be coming out soon, but I feel that humanity, society has been rejecting darkness, the shadow, negative, polarity. And I feel that in a way that is a rejection of the feminine energy because the feminine is that negative polarity. It is the shadow, it is the void, it is darkness, and it is chaotic. And maybe in a way, that the reason there is a lot of chaos is because of that rejection. It is the feminine energy being like, hey, like Kali Ma, I am going to destroy this until you notice me, until like, hey, I'm getting emotional just saying this. It's like, hey, come back to me, come back to yourself, come back to love, come back to, it is the feminine energy is screaming for attention and for love, for compassion. And I think that's something that humanity is really starting to come back to. In October, and the rest of the year and all the years to come, it's all about this. But let's focus on October, let's focus on ourselves this month and really come back to ourselves. And I loved that the Earth Star chakra and the crown chakras came up because that is, all us grounding and anchoring higher vibrational frequencies into this earth.
I feel like, wow. What is coming up for me is like when I looked down at the Earth Star and the Crown Star chakra cards, you'll notice that the Earth Star is 1. If I can get it into the camera frame. There we go. 1. And then the crown chakra is 9.
9.
So we're going from 1 to 9.
That says the unlimited self. Is that what it says?
Yeah, the unlimited self.
Oh, that's powerful.
So powerful. And we have to have that like divine feminine essence and grounded and embodied in order to become that unlimited self, because we can't just do it with the masculine. That's just one side of the polarity. We have to have both of those polarities in balance and in union within ourselves, and utilizing both of them equally. Something else that's coming up is I was actually watching one of Aaron Doughty's videos. Being aware and coming back to our energy and being aware of our own energy and activating the masculine and the feminine very consciously. So like the example that he gave was like, if you're a woman and you're activating your masculine all day, like doing stuff for business, or you're doing your business stuff all day long, you have to come back to yourself and also activate consciously that feminine energy within you, and either like take a bath or do something that's nourishing and soft and makes you feel like coming back into whatever, like it's almost like, to me, it's like whatever makes your feminine essence come out, whether it's dancing or movement or taking a nice luxurious bath or just some kind of self-care. So that's another layer that's coming in for me, is activating those polarities within us very consciously during this time. I feel like that's really powerful to do for deeper embodiment.
Yeah, and for men, it's equally important. And
Yeah,
what I feel that men can do also is movement. And
yeah,
it's not like lifting weights, because I feel like that would be
that's
more like
masculine,
masculine,
very
but like
masculine.
movement, as in, go out to, if you live close to a beach, well, it's probably getting cold now, but like swimming and flowing, being in water, because water holds a lot of feminine energy, really allowing yourself to be still. So stillness, I think that would be like the most, because you're not gonna feel silly, doing a lot of feminine, gestures and things. Just if that makes you a little bit of uncomfortable, just go out in nature, sit in stillness, and just absorb everything, and just inhale and exhale and breathe, and commune with the elements, and allow yourself to be still, to not move. Because I know that a lot of men, they do struggle with sitting still, because they want to provide, they want to work, they have to do this and this and this, and it's like, no, like, calm down, my
Yeah,
dude. Come back to yourself and really ground and chill, and give yourself, allow yourself to really be in that place of stillness, because I feel that it's very powerful for men to do this, and to remember that, hey, you don't have to be the one always providing. Like, take time for yourself. And on the other hand, there's also a lot of women, the women empowerment movement now that's taking place, the girl boss, the bad bitch, it's
yeah,
like they're women, and they're in their feminine energy, but it's mostly masculine energy that they are really
masculine.
embodying. And that's
Yep,
because they want to match the frequency of the patriarchy, the frequency of the masculine energy that has been ruling over the planet for centuries, for thousands of years. But it's like, it's only feeding more of the polarity. And so let's come back to ourselves and really allow our true raw feminine energy to be the one to harmonize the polarity between the masculine and the feminine. And I think that
yes,
it's yes, it's important for us to get things done, and to do things, to create, to be entrepreneurs, and to show up in the world. But we can do that in our feminine essence, with in union with our own
absolutely.
masculine, and not just rejecting the feminine essence. Because I also hear, this is taking a whole turn, but I also hear a lot of women bashing their menstrual cycle, and it's like, oh, this is such an
Yes,
inconvenience. Right? It's like,
yes,
oh, this is such an inconvenience. Like, I want to work out, I have to work, I have to do this. But it's like,
yeah,
no, that is our bodies really reminding us to, hey, give me some time. Come back to yourself, nourish yourself, love yourself. And
yeah,
unfortunately, this is not really accepted in society. We still have to work, we still have to do things. But, we have to find time to really allow ourselves to be in our own energy. So I think
yes.
it's very important.
It's so funny because I really feel like we're embodying right now that divine feminine essence, because how divine feminine can be kind of all over the place. It can be very chaotic. It can be, like we were talking, the Scarlet Witch before, it can be very chaotic. So I feel like we're working backwards, right? We worked backwards from these cards, and you started going back into like, bring it back to stillness, bring it back to peace, serenity, paradise, and really creating that within, that temple within. Look at all of the water and Mother Earth and how she supports us in all of that. And I'm feeling like, as you're talking, I'm like, dude, like that's like, like that's where we're kind of working backwards into that energy. Bring it back to that feminine essence, so that we are in our element. We can be in our element fully embodied in both masculine and feminine, the feminine essence in her element, in that inspirational creation, because that's the creational, force. That's the driving force. The man or the masculine energy cannot, do the things without that creation energy. They need each other. They, the masculine sets up the structure and the support for the feminine to flow, but without that initial creational spark, the masculine, what's the masculine going to create from? How is he going to create that structure? So they need each other. I'm getting like chills. They need that it's that marriage of the two energies that are actually, it's so fucking magical. So magical. So it's so important for all of us. Like what you're saying here, girl. It's like, oh my God, like the girl boss. And I totally get that. But like, that's like swinging in that whole other polarity of, okay, well, let's reject the masculine. But the thing is that is still feeding into that same polarity of, not bringing it into neutrality. Everything kind of feels like balanced in this card.
And in that castle, there's two towers. And I feel that's the feminine and the masculine.
Oh, look
Really,
at that. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Merkaba's in the middle.
Yeah.
Or the Merkaba.
So the feminine and the masculine are equally important. No one of those is better than the other one. And that's something that unfortunately, a lot of us have forgotten. But we are remembering. And I feel that we are really allowing ourselves now to really, or we are open now to hear more perspectives or to really start doing the work. I feel that's it's very important for us to take responsibility to do the work, and so that eventually we can stop projecting our own trauma onto other people, and so that we can do what we are here to do, which is to be badasses in our feminine and in our masculine energy, just as in divine union within ourselves. And I think that's so beautiful, like being able to be in that divine union of self. And it's like, and that's when that's when, like, at this point, and we've said this so many times, like, we don't need any external energy to complete us. We are full and complete within ourselves. And I feel that's something that that's one of the biggest, I think, problems or struggles that I see with people, is that they feel that they need someone else to complete them. But it's like, you have everything that you need within you. And if you really crave that masculine energy, that masculine support, unlock that masculine energy within you, because you have that within you.
I was one of those girls. I was one of those people of like, I really need that. I really felt I needed that masculine, energy. And so I was looking for it a lot of my life in another. And because it was kind of absent as a child. And so I was always looking for that, to someone to feel me, or to fill that role, or to quote unquote complete me, in that. So it's like, yes. And it's been since I've been unlocking that within me and really traversing and excavating those wounds and divesting myself of that, those traumas, and reconciling that energy. It's been like so magical for me, because I'm actually starting to draw people into my life like a magnet that are reflections of what I truly want now.
Mm.
And it's like, oh my gosh, like it's so magical. It's so amazing. So really, yeah, I just want to emphasize what you said there. It's so important. And equally for a masculine, you know.
Yeah, I
Go
love
ahead.
what you said, that that you are now attracting people that are a match of your frequency. And to add to this is that the people that we were attracting before were also a match of our frequency. And back then,
Yeah,
we were holding those
yeah,
vibrations, and that's why we were engaging with these people, because otherwise they wouldn't be part of our experience. It's all it's all a mirror. And so I feel that and that's why I also believe that isolation is a key part of the spiritual journey, or the spiritual awakening journey.
mhm,
Because if you are really tired of engaging with people that are just triggering you and that are just bringing up your trauma or projecting their shit on you, then take a step back and really isolate yourself for a bit, so that you can come back to yourself and really address what needs to be addressed within you, so that eventually you can attract the people that are true, that are a true match of your true frequency, and not the distortion,
yeah,
not the what do they call it, the toxic feminine or the toxic masculine, but the
yeah,
divine feminine and the divine masculine. And so yeah, so I think that is key. It's to if you're tired of what you see around you, like, disconnect, come back to
yeah,
yourself, recharge, evaluate what needs to be evaluated, analyze everything that is within you, and then start connecting with people again. And this time, you're not even gonna have to look for people. They're gonna come to you, because
yes,
the energy is so magnetic, and they will
yeah,
reach out to you. But of course, don't be a hermit. Like, I was a hermit for such a long time. And yeah, and it's not good
yeah.
to stay isolated forever. But it is required to really get to know ourselves. I love the energy, like the vibe of just like being in this essence of not giving a fuck, and just like using our voice while still remaining in this feminine energy, which is like the wild side of the feminine. So I think that's amazing. I'm really
I
enjoying
do.
this.
I feel like that's really important to say too, because like I'm in that space too, where I'm just like radically accepting all of those parts of myself that I wasn't accepting fully before. And I'm like, no, that's me. Like, because I'm like working on an album, and before I really used to hate my voice, and I'm like, no, that's my voice. That's who I am. That's how it's going to come across, and that's me. And so it's like it's really beautiful, and I feel like it's that magnetic energy that's like I am who I am, because how many men or masculines just accept themselves as they are, and that's a magnetic quality. And I feel like it's coming back to yourself and accepting all of who you are, and just whether it's wild, whether it's feisty, whether it's sweet, whether it's whatever expression the divine feminine is in that moment, because she can be all over the place, right?
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
like, this is who I am.
And I do want to say, for any men watching, the masculine watching, that is extremely attractive and sexy. When I see a man
Super.
really standing in their power, and they are just
Yeah,
vibing, and they are speaking their truth without projecting trauma, because we all
yeah,
do this all the time. But when we see a masculine in their true divine essence, that is fucking attractive. It is very sexy, and
so
and
attractive.
that's yeah. And it's so amazing, and it is so powerful. It's very
Yeah,
inspiring to see you standing in your power, because it's like we are rising. The feminine, the divine feminine energy is rising, but we need our king. We need that
yeah,
polarity in order to really have harmony on this planet, on the universe. In the
yeah,
universe, it goes beyond earth. It is
yeah.
everything as a whole. So that's beautiful. Definitely, men, masculines, anyone watching this, keep doing what you're doing, because that's fucking sexy. We love it.
Okay, so let's pull the last card. And the last card will basically be from the Cosmic Consciousness deck, if you can see that, and it's not too shiny, by Jamie Price. So the first card I seen was, let's see, wait for it, forgiveness.
Oh,
And that's the
yeah.
serious initiation again. authenticity.
Mm.
Have that there if you need it. And I'm just going to tap in. These are powerful. These are so powerful. Like that feminine really sometimes needs to like forgive, whether it's herself or whether it's others. Or, you know, I feel like for me, it was like forgiving myself for being so quote unquote naive in that, you know, like just accepting whatever I seen or whatever people told me. And I've had to really find forgiveness for myself and coming back to authenticity of letting the, you know, I feel like that's letting the feminine energy just be in her flow. If she's chaotic and she's all over the place, okay, that's cool. That's where you are at. You know, allow yourself to be that. I feel like in our society, a lot of that toxic masculine energy really judges that and says, you know, like, oh, you're crazy, you know, it's like, but that is part of what that feminine embodiment is for, you know, for us. It's like, and accepting that that's, that's radical to do in this day and age. That's like full acceptance of your divine feminine. So, and just choosing whether you wish to open to receive. And if you do, just intending to open to receive. And that's all you got to do. And you can close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths or keep watching with your eyes open. It doesn't matter. Just intending to receive. Uishiki na aya o yen shishiki aya. Uishene ai o ki ana o ye ai. Uishiana ku iana ai shu iesa. Nai oe ina ai ka oe. Kana isi shu ia na a. A ka ana au i shani hi au ia. I'm hearing allowing that divine feminine energy to flow. Shikini aya o isi shia. Naka awa ia ana aya oe. Shuye a shuye iana oe 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 oe. Fully accepting your divine feminine essence, whether you are masculine, feminine, or however you identify. Shuku iana ai shoya aha anasa. Allowing the divine feminine to rise, rise, rise. Sha'ana uke iana oe akaskushu iana into her glory, into her magnificence, into her embodiments of these qualities, of these traits. Eshikini ueshiana oea ueshina hoya kana uasashiana. And letting her, allowing her to take her place on the throne and direct her own divine energy however it wishes to be expressed within each moment is perfect. To remember that, to embrace that, to allow that remembrance to come in. Oya na ai shaoya, dana oya, oishiasa. I actually feel the Syrians coming in right now. Ayana oishiasa ayana oya, oya kaya asu, naya oaka aya. Oh Yeshiana, Aisha, Aisha, oh and I. I'm hearing that this is a very big time of initiation, initiating that feminine, sacred feminine, divine feminine essence within us to rise, to take her throne, to direct herself, to remember her sovereignty, and all that she needs.
We are actually planning on creating a series with Goddess Kali and, well, different goddesses and archetypes that are more on the darker side, you know, the wild feminine, that raw essence of the feminine. So really stay tuned. And if you're watching this on Instagram, definitely follow us on YouTube. We each have individual YouTube channels, and also Deepening the Connection is there. We are trying to grow the baby over there. It's been really hard, but we're getting there. So your support is highly appreciated, and everything that you need is in the description box, or the links are in our bio. So definitely check that out. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next time, and have a magical spooky season. Let the feminine come out. Let it out.
Yes.
Bye everyone. Haya uan sa shikatia aya tegi awa